Hi, this is SJ Talks a Lot coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. The migrants / illegal immigrants is taking over. Warning, the migrants / illegal immigrants are taking over, guys. While us black people, if you read my community posts, I said something about there on it. Us black people, we're so busy with this gender war between black men and black women. We're so busy being against each other, being racist towards each other. Racism in the black community is terrible. We're so busy with all this racism and this gender war and everything in the black community. We're always, as black people, we're always so distracted. We're so distracted to the point to where we don't pay attention to what's going on. The immigrants and migrants are steady. They're pouring into New York. It's a YouTuber by the name of Cash Jordan. He used to do a lot of real estate stuff. He does like real estate videos, but he also does, here lately, he's been doing a lot of content talking about the immigrants. Go to his channel, Cash Jordan. He's out of New York. He lets you know everything that's going on in New York with those immigrants. They're pouring into New York. They're pouring into New York, and they're committing crimes. Not only are they coming into this country illegally, they're committing crimes. I just heard that some illegal immigrants or migrants took hostage of a whole apartment building in Colorado. I didn't read the whole news story, but somebody came on Facebook and said, does anybody know what's going on in Colorado? Heard about what was going on in Colorado or something like that. So I said, what's going on in Colorado? Because I don't look at the news like that. So I went on Google and I said, what happened, and typed in what happened in Colorado. Some immigrants is taking a whole apartment building in Colorado. Yes, a whole apartment building. Some Nino Brown type stuff. From New Jack City, some Nino Brown type stuff. A whole apartment building. Trying to take over a whole apartment building. Immigrants. Immigrants. In New York, they've been getting on these mopeds. If you go to New York, if you happen to go to New York, please be careful. I say I want to go, but when I do go, right now, I ain't trying to go even if I had the money, because, child, but it's on my bucket list. So eventually I'm going to wind up going to visit. But when you do go to New York, make sure you keep your money. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to put these big booger bears I got here, I'm going to put these things to use. And I'm going to put my money in my, you know what, in these, hey, there's an advantage to having big breasts, honey. I'm going to put my little my money in these booger bears here. When we're a nice little tight push-up bra, and all my money in my car is going to go right in my, right here. And if I'm not careful, they try to go in there and get it. Yeah. I'm not carrying a purse. When I go to New York, I am not carrying a purse. I'm going to have my money in my cards, in my bra. And I might put my phone in there too. Yeah. Because what they've been doing is they've been getting on the mopeds, and they've been snatching women's purses. They've been getting on these mopeds. They've been seizing a lot of mopeds. Cash Jordan has a video where he's talking about where they've been seizing a lot of mopeds because they've been getting these mopeds. Some of them have been trying to do work like DoorDash. You know, those delivery services. They've been doing door dashing and stuff like that. But some of them are taking those mopeds and they're ripping people off and they're snatching people's purses. And New York has a lot of those outdoor dining places. I know there's some here in my city, but New York, they're pretty popular in New York. A lot of the restaurants have a little outside where you can sit outside and eat. And a lot of people go to those little outside dining places and they'll maybe set their purse down on the floor, on the ground, or on their seat next to them or something like that. Don't do that, because they said them immigrants has been coming around on their moped. It ain't just been, or women sometimes will put their purse on the back of the seat. And what those immigrants have been doing, it was a glare. What those immigrants have been doing, I don't know where that glare's coming from. They've been riding by and snatching taking a woman's purse off the chair. That's what they've been doing. So just guys, you got to be really careful. I don't know where this glare is coming from. You got to be really, 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 really careful when you go to New York. I don't know about you guys, but when I go, I'm not finna carry no purse. Ladies don't carry a purse, because that's what they've been doing. They've been getting on these mopeds and they've been snatching the ladies' purses. And then they've been breaking into these stores. Now, I'm not saying it's all immigrants. It could be a combination of Americans and immigrants. But they've been going into it. They've been having to close a lot of stores in New York because they've been going into these, they call them smash and dash. I think they call it smash and dash. They've been going into these stores and they've been just taking stuff. And they tell the employees and stuff, don't try to stop them or whatever. And I seen where he did a video where, you know, the people was just going in there taking stuff, and the security guard was just standing there. Because you never know, those people could have a gun or anything. So it's like they're instructed to not stop them. They've just been going in there, just snatching stuff, just snatching clothes and just taking clothes and stuff off of racks. So the stores that are still open, they have to put locks on their stuff. They got to put locks on laundry detergent and stuff like that. You know, because people just been going into these stores, and what they've been doing is they've been going into the stores taking, you know, like necessities, like laundry detergent and stuff like that. Necessities that you need for your crib and stuff. And they've been going up in there, and they've been going into the store, stealing the stuff, and then selling the stuff outside the store for cheaper. I mean, they is hustling in New York. They're stealing the stuff and then selling the stuff outside the store for cheaper. Their own stuff. Imagine someone breaking into your house and taking your stuff and then going outside your house, setting up a post outside your house to sell your stuff that they just stole out of your house in front of your house. Could you imagine that? And that's what they're doing. They're going into these stores and taking the stuff, and they're selling the stuff right outside the store to people for cheaper prices. I mean, they is hustling. They hustling in New York. And so it's a lot of these illegal immigrants that are coming into the country. Now, I'm not saying that they're all bad. That's not what I'm saying. But a lot of them are doing that, and they're coming here and a lot of them are committing crimes. Now, you guys know just as well as I do that we could not go into their country and get away with that stuff. We could not go to their country and get away with the stuff that they're getting away with over here. Why they're so quick to beat up black people, not saying all police, and shoot black folk, they're letting these people get away with this stuff. And not to mention, somebody came on my post and said they're giving the immigrants $10,000. Hit me up in the comment section if that's true. I'm gonna try to research it. I'm gonna try to Google it. I heard they was giving the immigrants $10,000 for food and that. And there's all these Americans here that need help. How high is our homeless rates? It's the highest in LA and New York. We have a serious homeless problem in this country. Even in my city, I got 52,000 people in my city. And I'm starting to notice people sleeping on the sidewalks in my city. I've lived here all my life and I've never seen that. It's shocking when I see it, because I've lived here all my life and I've never seen it. I've been seeing people sleeping out on the sidewalks and that in my city. It's in all cities, small, medium, and large, all over the country. We have a serious homeless problem, American homeless problem in this country. And they're letting these immigrants, they're letting them stay in hotels in New York. They're letting them stay in these hotels. They wasn't doing that for the Americans. Now, I'm not saying, now don't get me wrong. I want to help. But America is not taking care of their own. They need to take care of their own people first. I'm not trying to be like that, but they need to take care of their own people. Why wasn't they doing this for American homeless people? Why aren't they doing that for the Americans that are homeless? Now, all of a sudden, they're putting all these migrants up in these hotels. Well, they wasn't doing that for the American homeless people. They wasn't doing that for the homeless Americans. Now, all of a sudden, all these immigrants come in. All of a sudden, now they want to pay all this money and everything, and then they don't want to hardly give us nothing. Then they don't want to hardly give us nothing, and then when it comes to Americans, they want to shorten their hand. And they don't want to hardly give us nothing. I'm seeing people here in my city sleeping on the streets. I have never seen that. I'm not used to seeing that in my city. But I'm used to seeing it like when I go to Chicago. Like I've been to Chicago many times. I've been to LA like 3 times. I'm used to seeing it when I'm going to other cities, like major cities. I'm used to, you expect to see stuff like that. But in my city, I've been here all my life, and I've never seen that. I have never seen... Now, there's been homeless people here for quite some time, but now I'm starting to see homeless people sleeping on the streets. I seen a guy laying on a mattress in front of an old storefront here in my city. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. I said, this homeless problem is really getting bad. And they had to close a homeless shelter here in my city because they didn't have the funding to keep it up. And I'm like, oh my God, I wish I can reopen it. I wish there was some way I can reopen that homeless shelter. But they had to close it down because of lack of funding. Because they have another homeless shelter here. They got one for the women and children, and they have one for the men. But this one, they had another one in addition to those. That's the one that they had to close because of lack of funding. And I really wish that I could get the money to open that back up, because it is in the city next to mine. They have an even bigger, because their population is a little bigger than our city. And they have an even bigger homeless issue over there. They have a bigger homeless problem over there. So it's a major issue. It is a major issue in all cities. In LA and New York, it is the worst. They say it's bad in San Francisco too. But it's all over the country. In small, medium, and large cities all over the country, we have a serious homeless crisis. And it's been going on for quite some time. We've had a high poverty rate. But they're letting these immigrants, they've never furnished hotels for the American homeless people, not as far as I know. They've never given the American homeless people all this money. Now all of a sudden these immigrants, illegal immigrants and migrants are coming in. Now all of a sudden they giving them all this money, putting them up in these hotels and all this kind of stuff. They getting all these provisions that they don't give Americans. And now in Chicago, I hear that in Chicago, a lot of the black people are protesting. Google it. It's on Google. And they've been having a lot of news clips on it. In Chicago, they're pouring them into the black communities. That's what's happening in Chicago. They're starting to pour them into the black communities, and they're taking the housing and stuff away from the black people in those communities. And now the black people, and then they're taking the resources away from the black people, because they're not gonna put them in the white folks' neighborhood. They put them in our neighborhood. So see, black people need to wake up. Stop with this gender war. Why we got this gender war going on, and we so against each other. This is what's going on. This is what's going on, guys. We gotta wake up. We're too distracted. This is what's going on. And then Choice is YouTuber by the name of Choice TV, I think his name is. It's unpopular, my unpopular opinions. That's the title of the video. In that video, he made a very interesting point. He said, well, these immigrants come over here, just like the other immigrants, them Arabs. Didn't the Arabs come into our cities all across America, including mine, and open up these mom and pop stores, these convenience stores and everything like that? and in the hair supplies and all that, and Asian immigrants and all that, hair supplies, and they're making a whole lot of money off of black folks. That's what he was talking about. These immigrants coming in, now next thing you know, they're going to start setting up shop in the black shops and stores and things in the black communities, and they're going to start making a lot of money off of us. And then they're gonna be treating us like we're criminals in our own neighborhood. That's the point he was making. I thought that was a very interesting point. Black people, we need to wake up. They're trying to push us out of our communities. They're trying to push us out of gentrification. When we think of gentrification, we automatically think of white people, but think immigrant, think migrants when you think of gentrification. And that's who are going to be pouring into our communities. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? Black people need to start unifying, and we need to start unifying now, because that's what they're protesting. The black communities in Chicago, they're protesting that right now, because that's what they're doing. Yeah, so that's something to think about, guys. The migrants are taking over, because it's like, and now don't get me wrong, and don't come for me. Don't come for me. I'm not voting. I'm not planning on voting. I don't have a dog in the race. And I don't care for Donald Trump, because I think he's a felon and he shouldn't be allowed to run for president in this snap. But don't come for me. But he did make an interesting point. What he did say was, he was talking about the immigrants coming in here, and the United States government ain't doing nothing to stop them. And he was talking about that because everybody's mad at him because he keeps saying black jobs, because he said black jobs. Everybody mad at him because he said the immigrants are taking the black jobs. Maybe his delivery wasn't right, and maybe he didn't word it right, but he does have a point. And that's exactly what's going to wind up happening. The migrants are going to be coming over here, and they're going to be taking our jobs. And they're going to be living in our communities. Next thing you know, black folks are going to have a hard time trying to find a crib. I predict that Detroit's population right now, Detroit has 600 and something thousand people. I think that Detroit's population is going to go straight up. And guess who are going to be, a lot of who are going to be living there is immigrants and migrants. Okay? And they're going to be setting up stores over there. They're going to be setting up, there's only one black-owned grocery store in Detroit. These migrants and immigrants are going to be coming in. They're going to be setting up stores. And they're gonna be running them stores, and then on top of that, be discriminating against us. On top of that, black people better wake up. We're slowly going into permanent underclass status, and it's gonna be because of the immigrants and the migrants coming over here. And they're not trying to do nothing to stop it. And they're letting them come over here and commit crimes. That is the problem. I'm not saying all of them are doing that, because some of them legitimately want to come over here and work. Another thing that they're doing, I got to go, but another thing that they're doing is they're stealing people's, make sure you safeguard your social security numbers and all that, your account information. Make sure you safeguard that information, because what they're doing is, that's another thing that Cash Jordan talked about. They're taking people's, they're stealing people's social security numbers. Make sure you safeguard that stuff. They're stealing people's social security numbers, and they're taking it and getting jobs with people's Americans' social security numbers. The American government is not trying to do nothing to stop all this. That's what's making me mad. They're not trying to do nothing to stop all this. They're stealing Americans' identity, and they're taking it and going to get jobs. Now, you know doggone well, if somebody's applying for a job in your business and you an American, that you know how they not speaking English but got an American name. That's suspicious. Because that's what they're doing. They're taking people's social security cards, and they're making fake IDs from these cars, and they're going and getting jobs. That's what Donald Trump was talking about. Now, I'm not cool with Donald Trump, but he did have a good point there. Wake up, black people. Wake up. Pay attention. This is what they're doing. Safeguard your information. Safeguard it. Because this is what they're doing. And we could never go in their country and get away with that stuff. They would put us under the jail. But the United States is letting these people come in here and do all this stuff. In the meantime, they want to beat us up and want to unalive us. But they're letting these immigrants come in here and just do all this stuff and commit all these crimes and stuff. Make it make sense. Be aware, black people. Wake up. We need to unify, and we need to do it now. I gotta go. Hit that subscribe button and that like button. I'll see you guys later. Be blessed and be safe.